the shot, buddy. All right. All right, y'all ready?
Ready.
Yeah. Mentoring is something that has existed for millennia, and youth mentoring as we know it today has flourished as a field for the past 100 years. Mentoring is not something that you have to ask, how does it work? It just should work, right? Who couldn't benefit from having a positive role model in their life? Well, it turns out that while youth mentoring can be beneficial for the mentees involved, it also has the potential to harm them when not carried out properly. Unfortunately, with the rapid expansion of the field's popularity, we've only seen a rise in the quantity of programs, but very little increase in the quality. Many of these programs are harming their mentees, and it is our duty to pause and address these issues before we continue supporting this field. I will now tell you some of the harms that can arise from improper practices. According to Timothy Cavell and Anne-Marie Smith, two psychologists in the field, some of the risks posed by improper mentoring practices include the premature termination of mentorships, as well as the possibility of the youth being victimized by untrained mentors. Fortunately, mentee victimization is a rare occurrence, but early match terminations are not. In fact, one study by Gene Rhodes, a prominent researcher in the field, shows over 50% of youth mentoring matches ending in under 3 months. This is even worse when you consider that these matches are supposed to last for a minimum of a year. Some of the harms caused by premature endings are a decrease in the youth's self-esteem, feelings of abandonment, and hesitation to try finding another mentoring relationship. Another harmful effect of all these new programs is a lack of quality in both training and supervision. Many mentors are being matched and sent out with as little of an hour of training. This lack of training shows when the relationships end prematurely and the mentee is robbed of their potential growth. As you can see, there are many drawbacks that have come with the explosion of youth mentoring. This field cannot be supported in its current state, yet there is hope for the field if its practitioners can start instigating change. As the field stands right now, many of the mentees are not improving, and some are even declining in the areas in need of improvement. Many mentors are not being adequately trained, and almost half of them are terminating their relationships early for a variety of reasons. In addition to this, we know that mentoring does not benefit all youths equally. For instance, several studies highlighted in a meta-analysis carried out by David Dubois found that mentoring is much less beneficial for girls, at least in the way it's currently being implemented. When it comes down to it, that is the real issue, improper implementation. Programs are doing the bare minimum to boast how many matches they have, but all of this is for nothing and should not be supported until these matches start lasting their minimum length and mentors are provided with adequate training. Several studies, such as a preliminary test ran by Chris Elledge, show the potential benefits of youth mentoring, but all of these studies are highly controlled and include in-depth training and weekly supervision with the mentors. We must start putting what we are finding in research-based settings into practice, and then and only then should we fully pledge our support to this field. This goes out to show that the issue is not youth mentoring, but rather how it is currently being carried out. If we can bring about changes in the way these programs are being run, then we can really start to see some benefits that the field can bring. Youth mentoring, when carried out in ways researchers recommend, offers numerous benefits in several different domains of functioning and development. According to David Dubois' previously mentioned meta-analysis, which looked at over 70 programs, some of the benefits that can be seen in the better-run programs included improved functioning in the youth's attitudes and improved social and psychological health, a decrease in conduct problems, and an increase in academic performance. The overall effect size of this meta-analysis, however, was only 0.21. This is quite a small finding, but you must keep in mind that many of those programs are being poorly managed, which brought down what perhaps could have been a much stronger effect. Another study, looking at the Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, saw that children in the program experienced a decrease in the likelihood of many inappropriate activities, such as illegal drug use, truancy, drinking, and fighting. These decreases still were not excessively large, and if the BBBSA, one of the largest youth mentoring programs in the world, would start implementing research findings into their nationwide program, then the potential benefits would be almost immeasurable. These findings show the potential that this field offers, and I thoroughly believe that by changing program practices, we will see much larger effects. Now that you see what great things can be brought about by taking research findings and incorporating them into programs, it's time to act. Over 4,500 mentoring programs exist currently in the U.S., and sadly, few of them are taking adequate measures to ensure that their matches are benefiting the mentees. Through some policy changes and the implementation of research into programs, we can hope to see the benefits of mentoring increase exponentially and put an end to all the mentees that end up being inadvertently harmed. Contact your local program and put the pressure on them to quit cutting corners and uphold their values by doing what has been proven to be effective. We cannot continue supporting these programs unless they prove they are really trying to make an impact and putting the needs of the mentees first and foremost, regardless of the cost. These kids deserve better than what most of these programs are offering them, and without our help, they will continue to be harmed. It is up to us to instigate this change. Thank you.